difficult time in the same instance.
Okay. And where do you think nursing is moving with higher education, and why?
I think I'd have to say that I think they're going toward situations where they want nurses to be advanced trained.
Right.
So the advanced degrees are becoming more and more popular. The completion of and I'm thinking that a lot of nurses are now completing their BSNs, their RNs to BSN if they had an associate degree first. I know it's going to that, to possibly making the BSN the entry and not have the lesser abilities degrees like an associate or they used to have diploma programs.
Right.
You don't see those as much anymore. But I think that's where they're going, pushing nurses toward everybody being on an equal playing field as far as education and training and whatever, which should prove to provide more, hopefully, educators, executive leaders, that kind of thing.
Okay. And what is your definition of professionalism?
I know I should have looked at these questions. I would say, let me see, what would I say? For professionalism, I think the individual has to be two key words for me as it relates to professionalism is accountability. That's one. Responsible. The individual needs to be skilled, and trained, and have the ability to lead, to be an example, to support, to mentor. That's my thing as it relates to professionalism. Not necessarily just a behavior, a respectful behavior, a sense of integrity. I think all those things come into play when one is considering or calling themselves a professional.
Right. What advice would you have for a senior nursing student?
At any level, my recommendation to students is always go to the highest level. Get the full education. Make this a career, not just a job. Stay focused. Make sure that you do your continuing ed. You stay up on the things that are trending and the things that are new and the things that kind of evolve. Make sure they take some initial time to do med surg. That's generally what I tell students to. And don't specialize so quickly.
Right.
Get their base. Yeah, that's generally my recommendation.
Okay. And what is your nursing philosophy?
I would have to say, I used to say that it was a nurse is a nurse regardless of what the situation is, but I think my philosophy is centered around empathy. When I do my initial fundamentals student groups, I always talk to them about being empathetic. And nurses that are not in that mode of thinking can sometimes just kind of fall by the wayside or have some issues with the career, so much so that they sometimes leave the career, because you have to be able to put yourself into somebody else's shoes. If you're not able to do that, it makes this role pretty difficult.
Right. And what makes your degree different from others?
There are at least, let's see now, there's a DNP, a DNS, a PhD. This degree is a not necessarily a research-focused degree, more of a project-focused degree, where we actually go in to look at a particular issue or scenario and see how you can create an avenue of changing it or making it better, not necessarily changing it. If there's something that needs to be changed, you do it. If there's something that can be made better, you do it. The PhD is a focused, research-focused, number shuffling and kind of statistics, and the DNP kind of brings a little bit of that in, but it's more qualitative than it is quantitative. So we look more at the quality of what's going on in nursing and how we can have an impact on that. So it's not necessarily a research degree. That makes it different from the PhD.
And going back to your other answer, why do you think it's important to get med-surg experience as opposed to jumping into a specialty?
I think that nurses need to take those initial skills that they have just received from being in school, which is the basics. Basic assessment, the basic eval, the basic skills, and get those kind of honed in and practiced pretty good and pretty knowledgeable of the complete, and med-surg kind of takes in the complete physical individual, takes in complete physical types of diseases and gives them the base of what's going on by way of systems in the body. Specializing will kind of lead you down the road of focus, where say it's pediatrics or it's an ICU,
Right.
or a NICU, a neonatal ICU. I think if you still didn't have that base understanding of med-surg, you wouldn't be successful in the others. I think sometimes it's just a little bit more difficult for the new GN going in.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You are so welcome.